Minister Khumbudzo Ntshavheni says recent network issues and delays may be an ongoing problem. That is, if digital migration is not completed soon. During a briefing today, she told reporters that this could negatively impact South Africa's economy if it is not dealt with. eNCA reporter Govan Whittles was present at that briefing. Let's go live to him now just to give us an update on what was actually said. What are the main outcomes of this briefing? Govan, a very good afternoon to you. How's the installation process going thus far, according to the minister?
Well, Bradan, the Minister of Communications claims that they've installed more than 260,000 set-top boxes since the last update in April. But if you can recall that before then, between 2017 and that update in April, they managed to get it up to 661,000. So she claims that incredible amount of work has been done across the country. And they, of course, are preparing, they say, to switch off the analog TV stations in 4 provinces, Gauteng, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal and the Western Cape. They've switched it off in the other 5, and the Department of Communications claims that they've installed all of the prerequisite number of set-top boxes in most of those provinces, barring 2, the Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal. They say there they've had problems with some floods. But we'll try to put those claims to the test and speak to some of the installers. Before we do, let's take a listen to what the minister says about the number of installations and the fact that they won't switch off in Gauteng, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal and Western Cape until the Constitutional Court gives them the go-ahead to do so. Of course, they're waiting that judgment following the appeal of their intention to switch it off. So let's take a look now at what the minister had to say about the installations.
We are pleased to announce that we have completed set-top box installations in the provinces of Free State, Northern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga and Gauteng. We are currently in the mop-up phase for the Western Cape and Northwest to verify completion status because SAPO does not have additional addresses to give us for installations. The floods, as previously indicated, have severely impacted the set-top box installation rate in the provinces of KZN and Eastern Cape. This is due to damages of beneficiary houses and road infrastructure that has led to inaccessibility of some communities. As a result, as of the 21st of June 2022, a total of 109,270 beneficiary households remains unconnected in the 2 provinces. We continue to coordinate with the Department of Human Settlements and other infrastructure departments to ensure installations to beneficiary households are resumed as and when the relevant infrastructure is restored.
The installation progress is there, but I wonder what's happening on the ground in terms of this process that is slowly sort of creeping up in terms of those new set-top boxes that are being installed, Govan.
Well, that's exactly what we're interrogating here, Bradan, is whether or not the claim by the department of having installed over 260,000 of these set-top boxes in 2 months is correct. And to understand that claim, we first have to understand how the set-top boxes being installed are recorded. It's essentially when the post office allocates set-top boxes to contractors who then give it to installers, they're marked off as having been sent out into the field and eventually installed and added to that number of the thousands, hundreds of thousands that have been installed. We here, you might notice it's a little bit dark where we are. We're in one of the storerooms of one of these installers to talk about the process of installing these set-top boxes and get comment on whether or not it's possible to install that many in 2 months. Mr. Simon Piri is one of these installers. Simon, thank you so much for your time. So they say they've installed more than 260,000 set-top boxes. That's of course what they've sent out from the post offices to contractors. But behind you I see many of them are still sitting in your stores. What do you think of that number? And why is that?
Okay, maybe in Gauteng or in Johannesburg it can't be true because what happens is we get stock from post office and get a list of names from their contractors. But as I checked with other installers, as you can see, most of the decoders are not installed because we don't get payments. We don't get we don't get lists of people that we need to go and install to. So we end up sitting with stock without knowing what to do with it, just waiting for instructions from the contractors. That's what's happening. So basically most of the decoders are with installers, not with clients.
You think that's the case for a number of contractors in the province and elsewhere?
Yes, we talk on regular about that. Lots of installers, they've got their set boxes in their storerooms.
One of the questions that's arisen due to this high number of installations they claim they've done over 2 months is whether or not it's quality installations and whether the signal is strong enough. The department says there's some sort of guarantee that they'll send Centec maybe afterwards to check on the signal. What's the feedback been from your clients about the signal after you've installed these set-top boxes?
Okay, yes, we do check quality check. We do quality checks on signal and all that, but we're having problems with ETV channels. Most clients, they call you back after doing your installations, maybe 2 days, 3 days. They call you back complaining about ETV channels. I think that's the main problem that we're having. It's only the ETV channels. The reception is quite bad. I don't know about the dishes and all that, but with aerials, the ETV reception is quite bad.
Finally, Simon, what about the boxes behind you? When will you be able to get them out and have them installed?
I'm ready. I'm ready to get them out. As soon as I get the list of names from my contractor, I'll get them done. But then the thing is, like what I told you, we do like in batches. So we did the first batch, and we're still waiting for payment. They told us they haven't received any payment from post office or Centec, I don't know. So we cannot do another batch until we get paid for the first batch, and that's the issue with many installers. We don't get paid for the first batch, so we have to wait until we get cleared our arrears, then we go on the next project. So it's the contractors or Centec or post office that is delaying the job. I don't know who is it, but these stakeholders were signed off at post office. So the government might be thinking they've been installed, but here we are with the doctors.
Thank you so much. That's Simon Perry, is an installer. That's just one of the many issues. And this is important, Brad Dan, because if the Constitutional Court, when it rules on whether or not the signal can be switched off, will consider the submission of the Communications Department on how many people or how many set-top boxes they've installed in the households. And the Communications Department will record that it has met the prerequisite number of installations that it required for it to be considered as having completed the job. And all the while on the ground there are these technical issues that really mean that there are people out there who haven't had their set-top boxes installed, and if that switch off happens, they would be left without any connectivity. We'll stay on the story, but it's back to you for now.
Thank you very much, Govan Whittles. Yeah, most of the stock still sitting with the installers instead of being in households installed.